In today's video, I show you my completed adult coloring pages from the last couple of months. And if you don't know my channel so far, I'm a slow pencil girl. That means I do my completed pages video on a quarterly basis. So we will have July, August and September covered in this video. And that's also the reason why you see a Christmas book lying around here, because I took part in Christmas in July. So, if you ask yourself why I have this atmospheric shot here for the opening of my video, because this is the first video in my Pumpkin Weeks. Pumpkin Weeks is just a name for, my content that I have created for October. So I've created a bunch of videos for mostly coloring. I will have coloring videos with alcohol markers, with pencils, with Black Widow pencils, with polychromos pencils, with many mixed media stuff like glittery paints, backgrounds, and of course next week I will have a haul for you. So if that sounds exciting to you, make sure that you don't miss those videos and check in regularly. So, and before we get started, I want to talk stats with you. So I have managed to finish 12 pages in the last couple of months. My goal was actually to have like 13, because my yearly goal is to have at least one completed page per week, which makes up a total of 52 at the end of the year, and so far I'm only one page behind. And yeah, I'm only behind because of the content creation for October. I was really invested in that, and maybe I was a little bit too ambitious, but I hope you will enjoy the stuff that I have created for you and that will come up in the next couple of weeks. So, but now let's get started. So I will show you the pages in the order that I have completed them, and the first one that I want to start off with is Fairy and Fantasy 4 by Karron. And in this book I have finished basically this page here. And yeah, this is basically also a color along on the channel. So if you want to know how I colored this page here completely, then you can check it out on my channel. I also showed a variation of my dark skin color video that I have. So I added in some other colors to make it a little bit more, not quite as dark. This is a lighter version of my dark color that I did. So actually I hope that you enjoy this. So, and this is basically colored with the Prismacolor Premier pencils, and the background is done with Neocolor too. So if you're interested in how I did this background, you can also check it out. And then, yeah, there's actually nothing more to say about it. I also want this video to be not too long this time. So we will see that we get through a little bit more quicker this time. So the next page that I completed is also by Karron. This was one of her Patreon images, her Patreon rewards, back then when she still, did Patreon. Unfortunately, she had stopped to do it. I mean, you can still support her, so check that out if you're interested in that. And yeah, this was a page from last year. I always wanted to do this basically. And I also get a little bit creative on this, so I colored it with a mixture of Prismacolors and polychromos. And the background I think was also Neocolor too, and then I splattered on a little bit of Colero pearlescent paints. And then all the houses here are done just with alcohol markers, so pretty plain actually. Just quick and simple. And and then here on her shirt, I actually put some, it's Mod Podge. It's Mod Podge Gold. So I really love the Mod Podge stuff here. So I try to incorporate it whenever I can, basically. Yeah, this is how she looks. This beautiful lady here. And then I thought it's time to color something else and not always Karron. And then, I wanted to take part in the Christmas Cuties. I wanted to take part in Christmas in July, which was hosted by Amanda Colors, and there was another lady who co-hosted it. I wanted to participate, and so I had a whip in this book here. This is Christmas Cuties by Joshua Dunbar, and this one is completely colored with Prismacolor Premier, and I don't even have any effects on here. So this is plain pencil coloring without any extra, any mixed media, without any special effect, no glitter, nothing, even though actually on snow we should add some glitters. Maybe I will go and put some here, because this was my motivation when I started it back in Christmas last year. I really wanted to add some glitter stuff on the snow here. If you want to know the snow color combination for this one, I actually have a video on this. Not the complete page, but at least how I get started and how I color the snow here. So you could find it somewhere on my channel if you really want. So yeah, but I think this turned out actually quite cute. And I thought, you know, we don't always need some special effects. I wanted to go a little bit more simplified and do some coloring, yeah, without always the huge amount of glitter and shine. And this is what I did here, basically. So this was my third colored image for this quarter, and I think this was also the last one from July. So in July I had colored only 3 images. So then I continued my journey with Christine Karron. This is Fairy and Fantasy 1. This is the first book in her Fairy and Fantasy series. And by the way, there are exciting news. She's coming out with another book, and it might be in this series here. I think it is the last Christine Karron image that I completed this this period, basically. After that, you will see some other artists, I promise. So, but I went back to this book, which is also one of my 10 books to finish eventually. And I wanted to do this page here basically since a couple of years, actually. I wanted to do it for so long, but there's never time, actually, because I always think that some other page might be more important or more urgent to color it. And I always say, okay, there will be another time to color this one here, which is actually quite sad. And this time I thought, you know what? I just go for it. I just start this page here. I just start this image here and just go for it and color it. I colored this one almost in one shot, not in one sitting, but let's say I colored it. And then the next time I colored, I continued the page until it was basically finished. So this is something that I hardly ever do. And but I had so much fun to color this one here, and so I went for it. The background is with Neocolor 2 again. In this quarter, basically, I really enjoy to work with my Neocolor 2 crayons. Because they are quick. They work perfectly on Amazon paper, actually, I think. Really not bad. And the rest is done with alcohol markers at the base, and then with a mixture of pencils. I even went in with my Karron Luminance pencils here on those roses, which I haven't used for a really long time, actually, and I thought it was time. But, you know, with those very expensive pencils, I use them rather sparingly or seldomly. I don't know, because they are so expensive, I tend to not grab them too often. But this is basically this page here. So I'm happy that I added another page to this first Fairy and Fantasy book. And so this was finished at the beginning of August. So, and since I had so much fun with the Karron Luminance pencils, I wanted to color this flower, this rose here with the same pencil combination that I had used on the previous image. And this page here is basically a body coloring with the lovely Crista Luna. So I will show her image right next here, so that you can see both images and right next to each other. I find it always very interesting because this time we said most probably there won't be a huge difference on our page, because I guess we all have seen how others or how Mariola had colored this one. So most probably we will all go for kind of the same attempt here. And basically we both have like a kind of like a darker rose or flower coloring here, which in the beginning I actually wanted to do a lighter version, like a little bit maybe more like this dress here, but only when I came up with this beautiful color combination I decided to go for a darker flower basically in the end. And I think, I'm not quite sure, but I think for Chris it was kind of like the same, that he intentionally or had planned to go for a lighter flower and then ended up with a darker flower. And our color is almost looking the same. And then she also went for a brownish hair color combination. The same, yeah, like I did here too, basically. We both knew that we want to go for a more realistic hair look. So no fantasy hair or something on a such beautiful page from Mariola Budek. This is called Thumbelina, by the way. And the background I have done again with the Faber-Castell soft pastels. So it seems that on body colorings I tend to go with soft pastels, because those are basically kind of quick and very easy basically to shade them. They are kind of dusty, I noticed. I couldn't remember that they are so dusty, but in this sitting I really noticed that I needed some fresh air afterwards. So, and I also tried to do a little bit of like a bouquet just down here, because I thought with the soft pastels it's so easy basically to create a bouquet, and you know that I really struggle with bouquet backgrounds, so I thought let's try it with the soft pastels and see how that turns out. I also did the sun rays another time. If you can remember on my last body coloring with Crista Luna in the last completed pages video, I also went for a sun ray background, and yeah, I was enjoying this topic, so I did it again. And I think it looks nice. I really like how this looks so far. Yeah, and I don't have any special effects on this one. I went for a just very natural look without any glitters, without any shine, just the pencils and the soft pastel in the background, because yeah, Mariola images are just so stunning that I thought we don't need to pimp it up with any glitters here. So so this was Thumbelina by Mariola Budek. And before I go to the next image, thank you so much, Crista Luna, that you asked me if we could or if we should do this one here basically together, because you know that I also wanted to color this one here since I saw it, since Mariola came out with this image. But then again, the same thing happens to many images, that I say to myself, I want to color this, I have it ready, but I will do it next time. I will do it another time. I will come back to this later, and I don't even get started with it. So if you hadn't asked me, this page here would be uncolored still. So the next book is Tales from the Witch's Cottage by Hanna Karlzon, and she just recently came out with her newest book, Tales from Atlantis, and I basically can't wait to get her new book. But in this book, I colored the nameplate page, and it was a disaster. It was so much fun, but it was a disaster. So it turned out like a disaster, and I will show you why. First, I want to show you only half of the image, like the upper half, where there is this cozy house here with, you know, I went for a cloudy night sky background. This was done with Neocolor too. I also filmed it, so yeah, I just need to edit it and then I can put this one out. Yeah, it was a lot of fun basically. So it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of experimenting. Here I went in with gouache to make those trees look a little bit more realistic, so to speak, more textured than with pencil coloring, you know. I really enjoyed the upper part of it, and then it came to the lower part. And first, I want to show you only the lower part without the upper part. And if you take a look at this one, it does look not too bad on its own. So let's say if I had done this background maybe, on a portrait image, like as a background, I think it would have looked like very creative and nice. But now when you put those two together, yeah, you can see that those totally don't go together, and that's why I messed this up. And there are some people who think that I never mess up a page. I do, and you can see it here. This is a total mess. It just doesn't look nice the way that it is now, because it just doesn't go together very well. And I used watercolors on the lower side here. Most probably I should have used the same neocolors, and then everything would match together. Yeah, but I didn't. I went for watercolors, and then I took like more violets and blacks, and it looks completely different. However, I also had a lot, I also have a little bit of bleed through here next to the other page, basically, from the watercolors. I think like everywhere. It's like everywhere. I think it just was too wet, most probably. And so this was a disaster. Absolute disaster, basically. I messed it up. So actually I do have one more by Karron, so I totally forgot. This is another one of her Patreon images, and this was a whip since February. Since it came out, I had started it. It's called Trolarina. And then I didn't finish it, and I thought it's time now finally to get her done. The reason why she was a whip basically for so long is because I didn't know what to do to the background. And because there's not a lot of open space, so you basically cannot go in with your gelatos or distress inks. You couldn't blend them very well. I don't do pencil backgrounds. Soft pastel, they always change a little bit the outcome a little bit, so I also found that the space was just too small for soft pastels. And so what I did in the end, I used Neocolor too, and I did another cloud background, as you can see. And I was so inspired by the image that I showed you before, the one by Hanna Karlzon, on which I did a Neocolor 2 cloud night background. And I thought I will try out to do a cloudy daylight scene with Neocolor 2. And it was actually a lot of fun. It wasn't too difficult. Paper buckled a little bit, but not much. It's okay. And I thought this suits this image actually quite well. I also added a little bit of a grass area down here, and I was actually quite satisfied with this solution. So then the next image that I had colored is by from the book Witches by Coco Wyo. This is my absolute favorite book of Coco Wyo, the Witches book, and this is the second image that I have colored from this book, and it is this witch here. So this one has a black background, so it was a little bit of a quicker process, but still here's actually going on some things, so it still was a little bit of work. I did try out something new here on those candles for the smoke coming up. I thought because of the black background that it would just work very well, create a nice effect. It also made my candles look lit up, I think. And I have also added some glitters to the candles, so that it looks even more reflective and shiny a little bit. I used also a little bit of stickles here on the roses, and a little bit here on her dress, basically. On the little stars, I colored them with gel pens. So I made them just very colorful with glitter gel pens, and the rest is done basically with a marker base and with Prismacolor Premier. This is my preferred combination for... Oh, actually, I think the dress was done with polychromos. Yeah, it was a mixture of Prismacolor Premier and polychromos, and with a undercoating of alcohol markers. And yeah, and those Amazon books, this is my preferred method to make smooth outcome, because they won't take the biggest amount of layers, but I actually really enjoy to work with those mediums on the thin paper. It always works for me, and I'm actually quite happy when the page doesn't take too many layers, because then there is just a stopping point. So, and I actually really like that. So then I've finished a page by from Mouseguard by David Petersen. This is also a book that I really enjoy to color in, that I really like. And it is this page here. So, yeah. Meine Güte. Double-sided books are a little bit difficult to show. But yeah, so... yeah, you know, I had started this one, I think, maybe also in the first quarter, and then just finally managed to finish it here. And in those Mouseguard books here, I mainly work with Inktense, because I think that this is just a very nice book to use this stuff. The book is double-sided, but it takes this water mediums very well. I think I also, on some areas, I did some base coating with Neocolor too. So I just went over with a lighter layer of Neocolor. And then on some areas, not on all, I went over with pencils. For example, on the snail here, on the flowers and the mouse to create this furry texture. But yeah, this is the page that I did manage to color from this book. And I actually really like every page that I finish from this book. I'm always happy when I can add another page to this book. And yeah, it's just a beautiful book, actually. Mouseguard by David Petersen. I managed to color a page by Joshua Dunbar from his Easy Spring book, and I have to tell you that I really enjoy his Easy series. Yeah. First back then I thought, easy coloring, this is not for me, but it was also one of my goals that I color a little bit more simplified pages with, you know, alcohol markers, not so much with pencil. And so that I can enjoy the process, but still like the outcome. And I have to say, Joshua's easy books are just perfect for me. I thought that maybe Camillea's books would be great for that, but I have to say that I really enjoy Joshua's easy books for that purpose. So for just easy, relaxed coloring, for just having fun. Playing with my alcohol markers. This is completely done with alcohol markers, so no pencils here. The background is done with gel crayons, with the Gelatos by Faber-Castell, which I also love. On this one, I came back to add some effects. Hopefully they are showing up. So it was, from the beginning, it was actually my plan when I do those easy colorings that I will go in with sparkle, with shine, with special effects, to just pimp it up a little bit, to just have fun. And I think, yeah, I have to say this was so much fun, and it was so quick, you know. And as I'm such a slow colorist with my pencils, I really enjoyed this. So I went in with my alcohol markers and basically blended them together. So usually I do just base layering with alcohol markers, but obviously here I wanted to have a little bit of shading, not only a plain look. This is just too simple for me, but I went in with several markers, blended them together so I could practice my alcohol marker blending. So that was fun. Joshua's books, they have very thick outlines, so that's perfect for the use of alcohol markers. And he has a slight a tint of grayscale. Not a whole lot, so not those very dark grayscale pages that we know from Jade Summer, for example, but just really a tint of a grayscale. Just really perfect to help with the shading here. And I also really like how those leaves came out here. And then I went over a little bit with glossy accents here on the snail to make her shiny. Like she was a little bit slimy, you know. And yeah, as usual, some outlining. That's a way that I really like to emphasize some things and to make them special, to make them stand out, especially on those thicker lines. They are great to apply the alcohol markers, but then you want to cover them up somehow. And So then I have worked in Magical Dawn by Hanna Karlzon. You know, I tend to work in the books that I have already colored some pages in. So even though I have quite a huge collection by Hanna Karlzon, I always tend to get to this book here. And this is the page that I have managed to finish finally. It was a whip since last year, I believe. And basically only the background was missing. And yeah, I was really in the mood to color background, have some fun, play a little bit. This background was done with watercolors, with my Gansai Tambi watercolors by Kuretake. On this page, they didn't bleed through, but maybe just my control of water was better compared to the other book. And since I have started the other book, I'm pretty sure that I will work in the other book also a lot more now. So I have 2 books now that I can work in. And yeah, on this page, oh my gosh! Oh, can you see that I forgot to color in those little gemstones here? Ooh. Yeah, so I need to go back and color in those little gemstones. It's a small detail that I forgot to color in. Oh my gosh. So this is actually not completed. It's a whip now, officially. Yeah. But yeah, everything was colored with ink tints again. Then I went over with the Dovin drawing pencils because they have those beautiful brownish, reddish, red-brownish colors. Perfect for autumn, basically. It's a perfect autumn set. And yeah, I could intensify those colors that I had done with the ink tints here. And then, yeah, as I said, the background is basically done with just watercolors. And then, very cool, hopefully it's showing up, I went in with my Lindy's Magical powders, Lindy's Magical Stem Set or something like that. It's a powder with some mica ink in it, and I have it for so long. I think I got it when I was still interested in crafting, actually. And I didn't know, I had tried it once. It's very long ago, I think maybe even almost 5 years. And I didn't like the outcome at all because I did the complete background with them and it didn't look good. And this time I just went in some certain areas and some spots and applied some powder there and activated it. And this gave actually a quite interesting effect, basically. So this was a lot of fun. I have no bleed through here. This is very good paper, double-sided, but very good paper. And what I love about the old style from Hanna Karlzon, I find those books are just perfect to get creative, especially with your backgrounds. While the newer ones, I think they are actually more illustrative, and therefore we just want our pages to look pretty, and we can't get as creative maybe as in her older books, and which I find those are just perfect for mixed mediums, you know. So, and to play, and yeah, however, this is the page that I did here. I also tried to create some lighting effect here in those lamps, obviously, with those candles and some light rays coming out. Hopefully it's showing up. And I also went in with some of the Coliro pearlescent paints for adding, some shine to some of those stars that were drawn in here. So, yeah. So this is my page from Hanna Karlzon, Magical Dawn. Beautiful book. And then the last page that I managed to color is basically this page by Lana Green Art. This I got from her Etsy shop as a standalone image. She has a book out, but unfortunately not available in my country. So, I had the PDFs anyway, and I actually enjoy to work on single pages because it's just so much easier when you don't have, the second page just in the way. When you want to move it, you'll have a lot more freedom. So I actually really enjoy to work on PDF pages or printed pages, but I also like to flip through my books, so it's always hard, actually. But this was a whip since last year. And I finally managed to finish this page here. So this was done with mixed pencils again. The dress of her was done with the Caran d'Ache Pablo pencils. I really enjoyed them. I love this color combination that I came up here with. Then her hair is done with polychromos. I often use my polychromos for hair, and I thought this is a very nice, interesting hair color. So then skin is done with Prismacolors. Like, I mostly use Prismacolors for the skin, even though polychromos are also very nice, but they take a little bit longer. So then the one thing that was missing was basically this jar here with the butterfly. So I went looking for some butterflies as a reference, and I found a nice one, and I thought, okay, let's give it a shot and color this butterfly in yellow and make this very soft, this jar. And then the background was also missing, and the background I've done with the gelatos and with stencil paste. So I don't know if it's showing up right now, but one reason why I like my gelatos is really because they have those special colors, like the iridescent ones and the metallic ones. And I've used the pastel and metallic colors here in the background, and therefore it looks a little bit pearlescent. So I don't know if it's showing up because I have obviously this very reflective stencil paste used here, which is just very effective. But it does take away a little bit from this it's almost like a satin, like a very pearlescent satin-like look. Very nice. It was very nice before I added the stencil. But I also have to say that I really enjoy the stencil paste here. So that was applied with a stencil, and then with the Luna paste by Cosmic Shimmer, basically. I will have a video showing up how to do this in my pumpkin week, so yeah, and that was basically my completed pages video for the last quarter, July, August, and September. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video a whole lot. And by the way, my plan is, since I have created so much content for October now, I won't need to film anything during October, so I will use all the free time that I have for coloring, and I hope that I will come up with enough pages to basically come back at the end of October with a completed pages video. So if everything goes according to plan, I should have at least 4 completed pages at the end of October, and a bunch of whips most probably. So stay tuned for that. Yeah, please make sure to give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, and if you want to see more, subscribe, ring the bell, do all the good stuff, share my videos, and yeah, I hope I will see you next time. Take care everyone, happy coloring, and bye!